Hey everyone, welcome back. We've got another SimHub tutorial today, and we are looking at a viewer's dash that was sent to me. There's a number of things to go through here on this dashboard. So we're going to kind of break this up and do this in multiple shorter videos rather than one long one. And today we are going to look at how to create an item within a dashboard that will work for multiple sims. Now, in iRacing, a property might be called one thing. In AC or ACC, it's going to be called something completely different. So if you were to build out a text field and you want to look at, let's say, traction control and traction control 2, they are very different properties between the various sims, and I'm going to show you today how to make that work for each sim, and you can expand upon what I'm going to do here today. And I will paste the code for this down in the description below. I'm not going to actually link this whole dashboard because at the time of filming this one video, it is not finished. And since it's not my dashboard, I'm just tweaking it. I don't necessarily feel right sharing something that somebody else created without their permission. So let's go ahead and jump into SimHub. And I've already got the dashboard downloaded and imported into SimHub. So we're just going to go more, and we are going to edit the dashboard. Okay, so we've got a clean idle screen here. I really like the look of this, but let's get into the dashboard. It's a really nice layout here. Everything is in its place. You can see that we've got our pedal inputs, lap times, engine section. I like all of this. Your in-car settings are nice and big and bold here at the bottom. Very easy to see. So let's focus today on traction control and traction control 2. And you can then apply this to the various properties for each sim, ABS, your engine maps, your boost settings, whatever it might be for various sims. And something you can even do too is you can utilize the code that I'm going to share with you today and add that to a visibility toggle. So something like boost, your boost setting might not be available for a given sim. You might want to have something else there instead of boost. You can just say only make this visible when the sim is iRacing. So let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's focus on the lower section here. It looks like all of our components are laid out nice and clean. I like to see this. This is good. This is very similar to something that I would do. And we can see everything here is labeled very clean. This is well done. I like this. So let's go for traction control value. Now we're going to unlock it because we're going to make some changes to it. And we're going to come down here to our text field and we're going to edit this in NCalc. Now right now we can see that we have just the basic TC level, which is good. This is what SimHub is kind of using as a general traction control to pull in, but we want to set this to be a little more specific. So we're going to get rid of traction control. Now the property that we use in SimHub, we're going to hit open brackets here and we are going to go current game. And you can see down there in the raw result that SimHub is telling us our current game that we have selected to look out for is ACC. So that's cool. So we're going to copy this so I don't have to type it out. And then we're going to go equals twice. We're going to go with a single quotation, Control V to paste it. And then there we go. So now it's just telling us in our raw result that the current game is indeed ACC. We want to add in something here. So we want to put in a if statement. So we want to go if, open parentheses, current game equals ACC. Now in an if statement, your first result is, okay, well, what if that's true? The second is if that returns a false. So if it is true and we have ACC loaded and SimHub is seeing the data from ACC, we want to use the graphics. And you can see right here, there's a lot of available stuff. Graphics ABS, graphics best time. But we want to find graphics TC. So we're going to scroll through this list. It's alphabetical. Graphics TC. There we go. We're going to double click it. And if it is not ACC, and since this dash is going to be used for only ACC or iRacing, we want to pull in the iRacing property. Now, because I have ACC selected as my game in SimHub, if I were to hit open brackets and I were to look for in iRacing, it's DC traction control, we're not going to find it. See, it just comes up with everything else that's not, because iRacing is not the specific game that is selected. I could type this every way possible and it's not going to find it. So now if I were to go back out and select iRacing as my game, then the iRacing properties would be available to me. So if you're going to do this, what I recommend you do is you kind of go through in the main SimHub window. Let's pull this back up, and you select the game that you want, iRacing, let's say, and then you come down to available properties, and you can click show game specific. I always recommend checking that box, and then just start typing what it is you're looking for, and then create a list of all of the properties. I recommend Notepad or Notepad++ if you have that installed on your machine, and then just create a list of everything you want. You know, kind of be prepared going into what you're building. Now I've already done that, so I've got it over here, and whoops, I did not copy the right thing. So let's go ahead and grab it over here. Control C, Control V, and let's close those brackets off. And we have an error because we need parentheses to close off our if statement. So here we go. This is a pretty simple if statement. So it's going to look at the game. If the game is ACC, it's going to use this property as what it returns back on your dashboard. If the game is not ACC, and in this case, because we're only going for 2, we want it to return this telemetry.dc traction control from iRacing. Now you could expand upon this. So instead of having this traction control iRacing, so if it is false, if the game is not ACC, we could put a second if statement in here for if a return is false to say, okay, is the current game iRacing? Is the current game Euro Truck Simulator? And we can expand that, and you can nest this if statement to be as deep as you want it to be. But thankfully, we're only talking about 2 sims here, and so this is going to be nice and simple. So now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this. I'm going to show you why in a moment. We're going to hit OK. So our traction control 1 value is now set. We're going to lock that back down so we can't make any changes to it accidentally. And then we're going to go over to the TC2 value. And we're going to, whoops, I forgot to unlock it. There we go. Now we're going to edit it. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to paste over. So now we don't have to retype some of this stuff. Now I know that the TC2 property in ACC is TC cut, so I only have to change that right there. I'm just adding cuts to the end of the original, and then iRacing makes it even simpler, traction control 2. So there we go. That's it. Now we have 2 traction control fields right here that is going to be displayed on our dashboard, and SimHub is going to look for the specific property based on the sim, because we're having it with that if statement. Look and see if it is ACC, return this property. If it is not, return that property. And then of course it will error out if you've got something else loaded, but that's where you can go ahead and just add in additional sims to that as you wish. You can always expand for as deep as you want. So there you go, quick and easy how to get a dashboard function or property to work across multiple sims. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up so that we can get more people to find these videos. If you still have questions, please post in the comments below. I do my best to stay on top of those and answer any questions as they come in, as time allows me to do so. So that's it for this video. We've got another one coming up shortly where I'm going to edit some more things on this dashboard to help the viewer get it to the level that they want it to. And until then, we will see you next time.